deadliest. If you're not on my email list, you should be, because you'll get the skinny before I go live, and then you'll know exactly what I'm covering. Hello, Darina. How are you this morning? So these 7 deadly career killers. I know I'm using strong language here because these issues that I'm covering all this week are things that sneak up on you. They're things that people think are normal, but truthfully, they kill your career and they cost you promotions. They make you invisible to your boss and to others as a valuable contributor. And they also make you not promotable because people aren't seeing you as promotable. They're not seeing you as someone valuable and who can do more and be more. And some of these are so subtle, you probably don't even know that you're doing them, and they're costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars. I was talking to a woman yesterday who's an attorney. Hello, Sally and Susanna. Nice to see you. It's been a while. I was talking to an attorney yesterday who had settled into a role that was a nice title, but the salary was just, no way close. And she had settled because it was convenient. She knew the players. She'd been there for a while. Growing a child. He didn't need a lot of care, but in her mind, she's like, well, at least I can get off when I do. There is no job on this planet worth its weight, worth its salt, worth you, that you can't go ahead and take care of what your kid needs as a professional career woman. So don't convince yourself, hello, Mary, don't convince yourself that you're settling into a job that because you can get off and do things with your kids. Every job on the planet worth its weight for you is like that. Now, maybe if you're a critical care nurse working a shift, that would be a little rough to do, or other types of jobs where you literally have to be hands-on. But if you're a professional woman working in a professional endeavor, 90% of the jobs allow that and give you that flexibility. You have to be the one making that happen. And hello to Tarina and Trisha. So you don't settle. So in my email, I called it devil in the Sunday hat. And this is a term I heard from one of my staff members. And I never heard it before. And I thought it was super illustrative of the situation. And hello to Bonnie. So devil in a Sunday hat, there's evil lurking, but it looks good, okay? So that's what we're talking about in settling and complacency. And when I meet you for my daily mows in the morning, I'm all about my tea. You may not know that you're doing one of these deadly career killers until we get into some of the nitty-gritty details of what's been going on in your career. And that's why we have the complimentary career clarity call, mofall.com/dailymo. And that way we can help sort through what's not working, what is working, and where you want to go. And that gap between where you are and where you want to go, if you're not making that happen on your own, and a lot of people don't, we may be able to help you with that. And that's what we sort out in the clarity call. We sort out whether we can be helpful to you, whether we can change your life with you and give you the tools, techniques, strategies, and expert coaching. We have a proven formula to get you there. And several of the women here on this call this morning have been through the workshop or are in the workshop, and they're following the steps, and they are magnificently raising their soul's vibration and coming into their own truth about how powerful they are as a professional woman. And hello to Mindy and Miranda. Yes, book your call. Miranda knows. She is a graduate. Nice to have you here this morning, Miranda. Bright and early. I know. Rock star. So these career killers sneak up on you. Settling and complacency is the career killer number 2. Yesterday, I spoke about blaming others. No. I spoke about radical responsibility as the antidote to blaming others. That was career killer number 1. Look down below for that Facebook Live, or if you're listening to this on a podcast, find that episode. So since you're listening to this live right now, and hello to Kristen, how are you? Give me a little update. Your settling and complacency is cloaked in what you might perceive to be a higher value. Well, if I stay here a little bit longer, I'm going to tell you what the best career looks like right now. Because settling and complacency doesn't equal this. The best career looks like this. Every 2 to 3 years, you move up at least a level and you move up in compensation. And by the time you hit senior manager, director level, you have a bonus that's attached to your performance. And as you move up from that level, director to VP, you have to begin to shift what you bring to the table. As a professional woman, what you have learned to be successful at is doing things. And as you move your career up every 2 to 3 years, step, 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 your ability to influence others and your ability to exert your true power, your soul's power, not power as in I told them to do that. That's not even mom power anymore. That's like old-fashioned, forget it stuff. Telling people what to do out the door. Your influence and impact is about who you are and the influence that you have coming through as a person. This means you have to have soulful momentum and you have to be growing as a person in order to have that. So settling and complacency means you're not growing. Settling and complacency means that the external factors that might look difficult, might look challenging, have won. You have not won. When you settle and you fall into complacency, the external factors are winning the power game with you, and you have lost the power game. That's why it's so easy to settle. And that's why you have a few excuses for why settling and complacency is a good thing for you. It's so convenient to blame the kids for settling. Well, I'm raising kids. Okay. Do that and move your career forward. You know what? Raising kids is easier when you're making more money. Raising kids is easier when you're happy and growing and have momentum. They then see what a powerful woman looks like. They then are part of a harmonious growth curve of your career. When you're settling, you're not happy. And here's the real trap. Hello, Martha and Lisa, Amanda. Hello, Dion. The real trap on settling is that you've convinced yourself that it's the right thing to do. You've actually made a value statement on it. It's not a higher value to settle. Who are you kidding? It's a higher value for you to have momentum and career growth and more influence and make more money and put more money away for your future and your family and your vacations and for you, to make it easier to buy the things you want to buy, have the house and the furnishings that you want. That's so much better than settling. Trust me. I was not born with anything settling about me. I just wasn't. So this career killer is something I see in the thousands of women we speak to on our clarity calls. I personally did not have this problem in my career. I was moving and grooving, and I always wanted to feel the momentum. So the career killer of settling and complacency was never a career trap I fell into. I did fall into many of the other career traps that I'm talking about, the career killers, especially the one yesterday that I spoke about, blaming others. But you know what? Settling is a cousin to blaming others. Because when we settle and fall into complacency, we are basically blaming the external circumstances for why we're not further ahead. And then when we settle, we're downplaying our worth. I know. Bonnie, and I felt finally angry. Yes, I know. That's what happens. When you settle for a while, you have this inner anger, this inner frustration, this inner self-loathing, really, because you're the one doing it and your subconscious knows it. Here's the problem, human beings. You're operating on a default program that was downloaded and poured into you by all the people who raised you. And if you're a woman, you were likely told to just accept what happened, accept whatever you're given. Women are notoriously known for not negotiating salaries, not negotiating for promotions, and not being able to stand up powerfully and demand greater resources and things that you need at work. So you overwork and you settle. It's part of your default programming. And frankly, you don't even know you're doing it, which is why a complimentary career clarity call is just the thing that you need, because we're going to get to the truth. And you may not superficially want the truth. You will get the truth from us. We're experts at helping uncover what's truly going on. Because you know what? The first layer of your story is your story. And frankly, that's your defense mechanisms covering up your fear. And like Bonnie just said, your inner anger. Dion, a confidence issue. I want a career complete 360 from what I'm doing. So Dion, I see this all the time. I want a complete 360 from what I'm doing. Don't necessarily blame the work you're doing for the career not working out. And we see this a lot as well. It's super easy for the logical brain to go there. I'm not saying it's not the answer, but I've seen more times than not women we talk to, and you should book a complimentary career clarity call, Dion, if you haven't done that already, mofall.com/dailymo. You may be convincing yourself that the work is wrong, that the career is wrong. Most of the time what we see is that you're not in your power and you don't know how to progress. And perhaps after a while of that, what happens is that your attractor pattern, the energy vibe that you're putting out, even if you don't think this is happening, if you're settling, you're putting out a negative energy vibe. Just like Bonnie had mentioned, she got angry. And that anger is subterranean, because we can't be angry on the surface, because that would be obvious. So we repress it. We repress the feelings of low self-worth. We repress the feelings of low confidence. We repress the feelings of anger and frustration. And you may be settling because of your kids and be angry at them and not want to recognize that, because you don't want to be angry at your kids for settling in your career. So you repress that too. There's all these things that you end up repressing to save yourself. It's a defense mechanism, classic psychology 101. I mean, this is what we human beings do to survive the day. And so when you settle, this career killer that I'm talking about today has all sorts of poison tentacles. So you get angry at your boss, you get angry at your kids, you get angry at everyone around you, but you have logically convinced yourself that settling is the best thing, because it just makes life easier to go to the same job and have the same people that you're working with. It doesn't. How do we convince ourselves of things that aren't true? See how powerful the brain is? How about if you convinced yourself of something that you wanted to be true and you went for that instead? Yeah, that's the way to go. But you don't know how to do it. And Dion, you probably don't know how to make the proper shift and uncover what's truly going on. So you're going to convince yourself that you have to make this wild career shift. And since it's too big of a thing to do, chances are you won't do it. And with all due respect, you may make major mistakes along the way in doing it. That's going to cost you a career, hundreds of thousands of dollars, self-loathing. I should have known better. Why did I do that? And again, I see all of that stuff along the way as well. Kelly Massey, hello and good morning. So this career killer, settling and complacency, is going to grab you by the throat inside. It's not obvious. And it literally costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. Tammy, good morning to you. Do not settle. Do not fall into the career-killing trap of complacency. It's going to get you. And it gets you in a very subtle way. It's like boiling to death, honestly. You know you're in boiling water, but you can't climb out. Because typically it's the only thing that you really know to be true, and you cling to it. Why? Because human beings have another deep need, and that is certainty. You will do anything in your life for certainty. I know, it's crazy, even if it kills your career. There are people who settle in relationships too, because of certainty. And literally, it chokes your soul and chokes your heart so much. But you convince yourself that it's the right thing to do. Humans, what are we doing? This default program that we have absolutely hijacks us. And then we convince ourselves, because we have certainty, that it's the right thing. And we put a value statement on it. Lock up the prison door with a key. Settling in complacency now then becomes your routine, your certainty, and you keep convincing yourself every single day it's the right thing. And meanwhile, your career gets snuffed out, and the anger persists, and the self-confidence goes lower. And now you can't get out to save your freaking life because you have nothing left to energize. We see this all the time. And you know what? Here's the good news. It's really not your fault. No one ever taught you these things. No one ever brought you the truth of these things. And frankly, no one ever showed you the way out of this prison. We've got the key. And as a matter of fact, you have the key, but you don't know how to use it. The key is bringing your soul back to life. That's the solution. Bringing your soul back to life is the key that unlocks the prison door of settling and complacency. But most people have no idea how to bring their soul's energy back to life, so the best parts of them stay locked up. I know. It breaks my heart to think about all of the thousands of women we've had this conversation with. And it lightens my heart and gives me happiness and excitement of the over 700 women who have chosen their souls and chosen their future and chosen a better destiny to stop this career-killing trap of settling. I don't know if I said hello to you, Erin. Great to see you, you kick-ass lady, you. Barbara, Tarina. Tarina, I know. You don't even know you're doing these things. That's why I'm trying to be so obviously bold and outspoken about it, because you convince yourself as a human being that it's okay to do. And you see everyone else doing it. So it must be the right thing to do. This must be exactly what careers look like. And if you're hanging out with other women who are settling, you're all in it together. And that's massive certainty. And it's going to keep you there, because massive certainty is the biggest thing you're searching for as a human being. What's the weather going to be like? I don't know. Look at the Weather Channel. Let me look at my app. What's going to happen later today? You're looking for certainty all the time as a human being. It's what gives you a little sense of relief. It's what clicks your brain into going out of danger mode into a little bit of happiness. There are other ways to click that in, and there are better ways, and there are more sustaining ways, and that's to bring your soul back to life. Tarina, you have been a model on bringing your soul back to life. And yes, indeed, we help our ladies get their souls back. You are a soul human being. And when you don't recognize that, when you don't unleash that beautiful part of you, you're going to be in a trap. Because your default programming that keeps you safe, not really, but it's trying to, and your defense mechanisms that keep all of the inconsistencies buried are hard at work every day, convincing you that all is well. But it doesn't feel that way inside, does it? No. It certainly doesn't feel that way when you're falling asleep. It certainly doesn't feel that way when you're waking up. It certainly doesn't feel that way when your head is racing thoughts, when you're walking to the bathroom in the middle of the night. I know. It's sort of like you're walking on this plank of desperation and a slow death. I know. I've been there. Look, what cracked me open was my breast cancer diagnosis and double mastectomy. Without that, I don't know I would have ever gone deep enough. Even though I had coaches for 8 years before that, I was just shooting on the surface. And you know what? That's one thing I'm super happy about. I don't surface coach. Do I, ladies? No, I don't surface coach at all. We go into the best part of you, which is your soul. The best part of you is your soul, and it is the true you. And when that shines from within, you see the light, you see the truth about what you bring to the table, who you are. And then that's not just enough, because now you need strategies and expertise to help you move in the direction that is going to be satisfying to you and your professional credentials. Kathy Beal's in the house. Hello, Kathy. Another Stella kick-ass alum. Nice to see you. Hope things are going well and you're the leader that your state needs. And I'm sure you're doing a kick-ass job migrating your educational options and helping keep students going in the right direction over there in Idaho. No surface coaching with Coach Mo. Paula, I'm just saying. So the only way you get out of the trap of settling and complacency is by getting into the truth of why it is that you're doing it, and to rejig the reasons why you're settling, and to really come to truth and to face it, to face the confidence gap, to face the frustration, to face the fact that you don't know how to get out of it. I mean, you've got to face these things and be truthful with yourself. And again, this is what we do on the complimentary career clarity calls. It's the start of everything. And you know, I'm so gratified, by the way, that's mofall.com/dailymo. I'm so gratified to have hundreds of women who say all the time that it was their bravest move, it was their best move. And the other thing is, when we had our retreat a weekend ago, hearing the bravery of my lovely, wonderful clients really owning the truth that they came into their own and made a decision to disrupt their default programming, to disrupt these career killers and really find the truth and find the best parts of them and then proceed from there. So this career killer, settling in complacency, is costing you your inner sense of self. It's costing you perhaps some confusion about what's really going on. Dion, I really want you to book a clarity call so we can help you get to the bottom of what's really going on. You think you have to make a 360 move, which actually is full circle. So maybe it's a 180. You think you have to make 360, brings you back to where you are. And that's possibly what it really will be, a 360. But back to your best self, not making a career decision from a self that is stifled, pushed down, settling, and complacent. We know what we're doing. I have a beautiful proven formula to help you get out of these career killing traps. I know what I'm talking about because I had a 30-year plus executive career, and we will get to the truth of what's truly going on, and then you get to make a decision about whether you're going to fix it or not, and whether you want to be coachable and decisive and resourceful enough to make it happen for you. Gloria, thank you very much. Yeah, best call you'll ever make. Because here's the thing. You spend at least 8 hours a day at your work. You don't spend 8 hours a day in your life doing any other single activity. And most of you don't even spend that much sleeping. Okay? You probably work more like 10 hours a day, but it's with you all the time. And I know you love your family and whomever you might be primarily in a relationship with, if you are. I'm going to guess that you're thinking about your job and your career more than them. I'm just saying. I know. So even when you're settling, you're churning inside. Is this the right thing? Why didn't I this? Why haven't I done that? My friends are accelerating. There's people making more money than me. There's people having better jobs. Why am I not getting ahead? How come that stupid idiot is getting ahead and not me? You're thinking about it all the time. Face it. It's a big problem. It's taking up a lot of bandwidth. Let's get your soul resurrected. Let's get this not to be a career killer. Let's get your soul back in charge of you, and then load you up with the best career strategies. And then you'll be off to the races with the best part of you, the best career move ever, and your life will be changed forever. And then you'll graduate 12 weeks from now, which, by the way, would be November 13th. I know. Woo! There goes the fall. You could change your life between now and Thanksgiving by taking action now. And you could stop these career-killing traps from getting the best part of you. You could have a new job and a new life before Thanksgiving if you're listening to me live. That's one heck of a. One of our grads is off to a dream job, dream city, 35% pay increase, a bonus that she didn't even know she should ask for, and a relocation package. This woman's friends kept saying, what are you doing looking for a job during COVID? What's wrong with you? You can't do that. You should just stay where you're at and da-da-da-da. Settle. Her friends were telling her to settle. You know how much they were costing her? Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Don't listen to your friends about your career. They don't know what they're talking about. They're going to help you settle. They're going to help you invoke your fear brain. They're not experts. They don't know what they're talking about. Are their careers awesome? Is their soul on fire? Are they living the life of their dreams? If they're not, don't listen to them. If they are, maybe listen to them. Chances are they're not. Don't listen to other people who are settling. That's career killer trap number 2 times 2. You can find plenty of people who will agree with your complacency. You will find plenty of people who will agree with you not to do things. If you want to keep listening to them, you are absolutely just putting nails in the coffin, another locked door in your prison. Why do you do that? Because it's certainty and connection. Because you're going to feel connected to your friends. You're right, friend. I shouldn't be doing something that aggressive now. I should stay in self-hatred and loathing. I should stay in a job that's $30,000 to $50,000 less. That's right, friend. Thanks for being such a great friend. No, that's a horrible friend. And he or she has no idea what they're doing. Don't listen. Listen to an expert who's done it hundreds of times with other people's lives after she did it for her life. Yeah. We know what we're talking about. I've created a proven formula that's worked for over 5 years with over 700 women. Let's get you out of these career-killing traps. Let's get your soul lit back up. Let's get that shiny part of you to be the one making decisions about your career and yourself, and not your friends, and not the devil within, and not your defense mechanisms, and not your fear. Let's rock and roll. And this is a great time for your career to take an upward trajectory. You know why? Because there's a lot of people fearful and not doing it. Heck with them. Let's soar. This is the time where success is really made, when other people are sitting on the sidelines. We're not sitting on the sidelines. And we're not expecting you to sit on the sidelines either. This is your time. You've got to make a choice, because chances are, on your own, it's not happening, because there's too many things holding you back. Don't fall into the career-killing traps. Don't let the devil win. Don't let your friends in fear mode win. Let your soul win. This is Coach Mo Fall. Start it all off with a complimentary career clarity call at mofall.com/dailymo. And we do show you how to open your own prison door to soar. Thank you, Bonnie Moreau. I look forward to continuing to work with you and keep things rolling in the upward trajectory. Let's make your career soar, because that's what helps your soul soar. But That's why we do it first. We do the soul first because it's necessary and it's needed. And that's how we do it. All right. Career killer number 2, settling in complacency. Stop it now. Change your life forever. mofall.com/dailymo. And let's move you to your awesomeness. I'll see you tomorrow for career killer number 3. Over and out. This is Coach Mo.